Ever had a conversation with someone and what they were saying just did not make sense? And you try to show them that what they were saying did not make sense, but they still did not understand you. And you ask yourself, wait, what if I just don't understand them? What if what they're saying really does make sense, but I just don't understand them? And then you realize that no, I understand them completely. I actually understand them more than they understand themselves. They just don't make sense. If you have a conversation with someone and you are making more sense than them, and they don't realize that you are making more sense than them, never ever trust them. Never ever trust them, because that is scary. If you have a conversation with someone whose spirit is not in line with seeking truth, don't ever trust them. Because people are delusional. There are people who are so delusional that they actually should have been diagnosed with some form of mental illness, because they're so damn delusional. It sucks that the majority of people are actually delusional. That really sucks. Is that the best way to live life? Is it to just make shit up in your own head and actually believe it, or believe shit that other people made up? Instead of looking at things as they really are. Because everywhere you go, most humans are delusional. Doesn't matter where you go. You go to UK, even if you talk to people that are not religious, you'd realize that there are things that they believe that just don't make sense. You see, if you love having deep conversations with people, you'd realize how delusional people are. Like when you just talk to them about unimportant stuff, you won't realize how delusional they are. You know, if you just talk about the weather, if you just talk about relationships, if you just talk about family, if you just talk about school, work, you're not gonna realize how delusional people are. But if you're gonna go a bit deeper and have like really deep conversations about things that they don't usually talk about, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. I'm saying to you, if you have a conversation with a person and you realize that you make more sense than them and they don't realize that, and they don't try to rise to your level, don't ever trust them. People who really want the truth are willing to raise their consciousness to understand it. I believe that each and every person should be capable of seeing when they are being delusional, when they are having a conversation with someone who makes more sense than them. They should be able to say that, but nah, man, that this person really does make sense. They shouldn't feel like this person is bad because they make more sense than them. Because when you make a lot of sense, people will gaslight you. If you realize that, you see, if you're making sense, people will be too quick to gaslight you. I was telling someone this. I was like, bro, I've had conversations with people that I genuinely thought were crazy, right? Like I just thought they're just crazy because they just were saying things that just did not make sense. I'm like, yeah, sounds definitely wrong here. But I would never tell them. You wanna know why? Because the people who want to gaslight others usually accuse them of having some issues. Like you're having a conversation with someone and you think they're crazy. Let's just say you're having a deep philosophical conversation with someone and they're just saying things that don't make sense. And you're like, okay, this person might be crazy. If you tell them that they're crazy, that's going to look like a form of gaslight. You're like trying to make them feel bad for thinking the way that they think. So what I always do is I try to wake them up by pointing flaws in their way of thinking. Like, I think there's a flaw. Look at this. Okay, I understand what you're thinking, but look at this. How do you explain this? You know, I would be a very good psychologist, bruh, because I would never tell anyone that they're crazy. Like, it is what it is. Be crazy. But if you're talking to someone who understands more than you or who's more conscious than you are, you mustn't fall back into your delusion. That's the thing. That's the problem. Like, people do not grow because they still fall back to their delusion. You cannot grow unless you're willing to accept the truth no matter what it is. You understand? No matter what it is, you must be willing to accept the truth no matter what it is. If the truth is that you are not good enough, no one loves you, no one cares about you, no one even thinks about you, be willing to accept that. Don't just tell yourself that other people, they're just bad, they're just jerks. Accept it. Even if it hurts you, accept it. The reason why I'm using this example is because I know how hard it is to accept that we're inadequate. It's hard to accept that I'm not good enough, right? It's not easy to accept that I'm just not good enough. So people tell themselves whatever they want to believe. Some people can't make relationship work and tell themselves that, the problem is with other people. Each and every person that I meet, what about you? Are you sure that you're perfect and everyone that you meet is wrong? And you tell yourself the truth. That's the only way that you grow. I remember in 2018, the girl that I was dating, that I really gave my heart to, broke my heart. She left me. In 2018, I blamed her the whole year. I remember we would even have conversations in 2018, November, after we broke up in March, and I would still be blaming her for some things. But as I was starting to heal, I realized that there are some things that I was doing wrong, and I wasn't willing to accept that because that will hurt me more. So I wanted to blame her. I wanted to blame her for the failure of our relationship. But what about me? Was I perfect? And accepting that I wasn't perfect, bro, that was hard. That was even harder than accepting that I will never have her in my life again. That was harder because I was realizing that, I was wrong. I remember I saw this post on Facebook. It says, I just had my ex's side of the story. Yeah, what I did was not right. Sometimes it's not easy to accept that we are wrong or we were wrong. Sometimes it's not easy to accept that maybe I was the one who was wrong and the other person was the one who was actually right, especially if there are feelings involved. But you must be willing to accept the truth about yourself no matter what it is. If you are 5'1" and women don't give a shit about you because you're 5'1", be willing to accept that. Don't even hate them. Is it because that's the thing? You're like, oh, I hate women because height matters. Girls who are like 4'5" can still date a guy who's like 6 foot tall, so that's bad. No. Be willing to accept the truth and not even be mad. The truth is that, well, girls like guys that are tall. That is the truth. That's how it usually is. If she likes a guy who's short, maybe he has money, maybe he's funny, maybe they have an unspoken bond. That can happen. You can connect with the person that you wouldn't date if you didn't have, that kind of connection with. That can also happen. But be willing to accept the truth about how things work in the world, about your own life, about how other people perceive you. Don't be delusional. I have had deep conversations with people who were so damn delusional that I would be exhausted, be like, damn. How do I find my way to this person's heart? The thing is, I never judge people, and I think that's why a lot of people, when I have like conversations with them, they easily connect with me, even if I don't really agree with what I'm saying. It's because I don't judge them, even if I like really think they're wrong. Just listen and try to be as respectful as possible, and try to help them see deeper truth. I'd like to look at myself as like one of the most rational minded individuals, because I don't really meet a lot of people who are rationally minded. Most humans are not rational minded. Once you start to test them, you'd realize that a lot of people are not rational minded. You ask them questions about anything, it doesn't even have to be about it doesn't even have to do with philosophy. It could be just about what they will do in a certain situation, or what their conclusion is about something. You realize that people don't think that deeply, and that scares me. That's why I'm saying, do not trust people who are not rationally minded. Because these are the people that are doing things that don't make sense in society. These are the people that be causing unnecessary suffering, believing that they are right. These are the people that will be worshipping nothing, believing they're worshipping something. These are the people that will be indoctrinating their children. These are the people that try to indoctrinate you. These are the kind of people, because they're not able to free themselves from a delusion. Once they become delusional, that's it. They live in that delusion. These are the kind of people that you can't trust. This is the kind of people that I don't think are strong. I believe that people who are rational minded are people who are strong because they don't let their emotions limit them. You see? They are willing to go beyond where their emotions, were trying to keep them. Like, I don't care if I'm going to feel a lot of pain. I want the truth. I don't care, man. I don't care. I want the truth. Even if the truth is going to make me collapse, I don't care. I want the truth. I've always been that kind of a person. I want the truth. Don't try to force me to believe things that don't make any sense, and you try to gaslight me for not believing things that don't make any sense. Try to make me feel like I'm a bad person because I don't believe things that don't make any sense, because I don't believe in your delusions. No. Something is wrong. People are delusional, bro. Like, there ain't that many rational-minded people on earth. I'm starting to think that human beings were not supposed to be rationally minded. That if you are truly rational minded, you are an anomaly. Because you're going to see things that other people don't see. You're going to understand things that other people do not understand. That would be like living in a world full of blind people and you were able to see. You would have a lot of problems. You'd have a lot of problems. Because human beings are egotistical. It's not about what is true. It's about what they prefer the truth to be. Let that sink in. For most people, it's not about what the truth is. It's about what they want the truth to be. Don't let anyone lie to you. People are not seeking truth. People are not seeking truth. That is why most of them are delusional. That is because they are not seeking truth. The truth is always simple. It's not like the truth is complicated. It's just that people do not want to wake up from their delusion. And they hate you for trying to wake up from their delusion. You can't trust people who say things that don't make sense. Why do they say things that don't make sense? Why are they not able to understand you when you're saying things that make more sense than what they believe? Before I became an internationalist, when I knew that I didn't want to have children, so I was child free. discovered instrumentalism, and I didn't agree with it at first without like really thinking deeply about it. It was like, I mean, I get why internationalists would say it, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the whole world should just stop creating humans. I don't, you know. You wanna know why I was feeling like that? I was hardwired to feel like that. But because I'm a person who's actually willing to go beyond where my emotions would try to keep me, I was able to understand antinatalism. It took about like 1 week for me to just get it. That it makes a lot of sense. You know, I wrestled with it. It's like it makes complete sense. It makes complete sense. I realized that internally are more regional than me. So should I continue to lie to myself because I have a big ego? Be like, internationalists are wrong? Even though I'm able to see that they're right? They're right. They're completely right. If you're talking to someone about the world that we live in, you tell them that, hey man, you do understand that we were never given the truth, right? You do understand. Let's say you're talking to a Muslim, you tell them that, hey man, you understand that we were never given the truth. And everything that we believe about this world are things that other people have studied and found out, things that other people have discovered, and we cannot be 100% sure that they are right, because it's not like they've discovered the same things and reached the same conclusions. It seems like we can never get to agree what on a lot of things. You know, like no matter how much work we do, we never get to agree on a lot of things. So don't you think that it's also possible that your religion might be wrong? But like, no, it's not possible. Stay the fuck away from those people. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not possible. It's possible. Because that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. Like you can't say it's not possible. You can't. It's possible. And not only is it possible, it actually makes sense to believe that these religions were made up, because there's no evidence to support the claims that these religions are based on. Jesus walked on water, he died, came back to life, he healed blind people, he gave us power to heal. We don't see miracles. Never seen a miracle. We don't see pastors going to different hospitals praying for sick people and they're getting healed. Isn't that proof enough that this shit is a lie? No, it's not. Start making up excuses. Like, don't stay away from those people. Don't trust them. I'm telling you the truth right now. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Because I don't know what's making them blind. You see? It's like some people can't go that deep when they're thinking. So you can't really trust them. You can't really be like, I want to like really reason with this person. No, you have to stay away from them and focus on your own growth and trust yourself, because you are rational. You know that you care about the truth, right? You know that you don't lie to yourself. You are interested in the truth, no matter what it is, even if it hurts you. I don't know how many comments I've seen in my videos where people were saying that, hey man, what you're saying hurt me, but it's the truth. I know it's the truth. Like, you so damn strong that even though you were getting hurt, you continue to watch. You're like, hey, it's the truth. It hurts, but it's the truth. This reminds me of this other audio book that I've listened to. It's called Manipulated Man. When I was listening to that audio book, bruh, I was like, whoa. Everything said is true, but it's bringing back old memories. I'm starting to realize some of the mistakes that I've been making, some of the mistakes that I'm still making, but it's true. It's true. I didn't just go like, nah, it's not true, because I don't feel the way that I would want to feel when I'm listening to an audio book. No, it's the truth. The truth is the truth. I'm not saying everything on the book is true, but most of the things are, because I can't even remember what I didn't agree with. Truth is controversial. The lady who wrote that book, a lot of people didn't agree with her. No, that book is dangerous. That book is dangerous. The truth is dangerous. That's the thing. The truth is actually dangerous. That's why some people would say that my way of thinking is dangerous. It is, but it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It's just dangerous. And it is dangerous, like really, really dangerous. Isn't that the reason why a lot of people prefer living in their own delusions? Isn't it because the truth is dangerous? Isn't it because they can't handle the truth? So they treat their delusions as truth. And they fight to believe in their delusion. They will see you as the enemy when you try to wake them up. Oh, this person is the enemy. Why are they trying to make me wake up? I don't want to wake up. I want to remain in my delusion. How do you know that what you're saying is true? And this is a very important question. When you speak the truth, how do you really know that what you're saying is the truth? It's when what you're saying can really be contradicted. What people can do is hate on what you're saying. Lies are so easy to contradict. But people are too damn attached to these lies. Just like the example that I gave you, that if I ask the Muslim, is it possible that your religion might be wrong? They would say, no, it's not possible. Like, obviously that's a lie. Obviously there's no intellectual honesty there. But let me give you an example of something that is true. Let me give you an example of something that is true. Try to wrestle with it and you realize that it's the truth. What makes creating new humans immoral is the fact that we still don't know that we live in a world that is good. We assume that we live in a world that is good because the people who came before us have been telling us that it is good, but we do not know. It's not something that we know. We don't even know what it is at all. We have no clue what it is. Creating a new person who is not asking to be born and bringing them into a world that we ourselves do not understand. We ourselves don't know where it comes from, and saying that we're giving them a gift is wrong. There's no intellectual honesty. Try to disprove that. Try to wrestle with that and tell me that I'm wrong. It's not possible, because what I said is true. It's so damn true that you can't. You know what the person will say? They will say something like, but God created. They will say something like this. I'm sure some people have told you that. It's not even like they're not even responding to what you're saying. Like, what you're saying is true, so they're just looking for whatever they can use to continue the conversation, to avoid accepting that what you've said is actually true. Have you ever debated with those kind of people? So you tell them something that is true, it is true, and they can't debate it, so they say something else. Bro, have you ever debated? It's like, these people are the most exhausting people to have a conversation with. You tell them something that is so damn true, they can't debate it at all. So they shift the conversation to something else before admitting that, hey man, I think you're right. That's why when I'm debating with people, I force them to admit that I'm right when I'm right. Like, no, let's focus on this. Let's not move away from this. Let's focus on this, because this is important. The truth is simple. People just prefer living in their own delusions. And some people just seem to just not be conscious enough to even see things as they are. Like, they just not conscious. You know, some people just seem to be non-player characters. You talk to them about something that they've never thought about before, you see that it's like their mind stopped working. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and you kind of felt like their mind actually stopped working? Like, nah man, come on. You used to be smart, but now like your mind is not working. It's not like you don't understand what I'm saying. It's like your mind just stopped working. And when you ask AI a question that it cannot answer, at least AI is honest. It'll tell you if you can't answer a question. AI is more rational than most people. Realize that. Have you ever tried to like have a conversation with Meta AI? That thing is it a lot of sense. Like it's even if you ask it to say something against what you believe. Let's say, for an example, you can ask Meta AI to maybe come up with 10 reasons why it is logical to believe in the Christian God. It will come up with reasons that are actually better than most humans can come up with. I was watching Avengers. I'm not sure if I'm able to capture the moon. Yeah. Isn't it weird that the moon is right there and the sun is right there? I was watching Avengers. It's Infinity War, and I remember this scene where Thanos just dragged the moon, but he was fighting with Stark. I thought that was funny. But the moon looks weird, man. When I was young, I would argue with my friends. I would tell them that I think the moon is a planet. They're like, no, it's not a planet. I'm like, why do we say it's not a planet? It's a planet. I was so damn crazy. But it looks weird. It's weird that we exist. It's weird that there's a moon and we don't really understand what it really is. It's just there. We're told that some people went to it, but I don't know. You know, it seems unbelievable. It seems too unbelievable. Like they don't have enough photos, and they should have taken millions of photos, videos. They were able to record. I think they were able to record videos. Yeah, should have taken videos, photos. There ain't that many photos that they've taken, and I don't know, man. The fact that they're unable to go back now seems weird. Everything is weird in this world, man. You can't tell me that it makes sense to believe we're here for a good reason. No, man, no. It's like we're being experimented on. Or something is using us for something else. That's why we're supposed to be slaves and be okay with being slaves, be okay with working. We're the only animals that actually have to work, and we don't see something wrong with that. Pets don't work, they just do what's necessary. They don't gotta wake up and go to work. Animals don't gotta get locked up when they make mistakes and live in prison for the rest of their lives. We're not free, man. We're slaves. Like humanity, slaves, man. The only animals that truly suffer are the animals that we abuse. You know, when they experiment on rats. I hate the fact that they like experimenting on rats. I will even give rats drugs. So other animals truly suffer when we make them suffer. On their own, not so much. Like, they do suffer because we live in a world of suffering. But the reason why most people can't really take it anymore is because they suffer more than humans are supposed to suffer. The things that we have to go through are unreal, bruh. The fact that when you're still young, they send you to school, you go there and it's depressing. You get there in the morning and you're like, dude, when is recess? Fuck this 3 hours I have to sit in this one spot and listen to some dude talking nonsense. Come on, man, that's depressing. That fucks with your soul. You know, that messes you up. When it's recess, at least you'll be happy for like 30-40 minutes. Like, hey, it's recess, let me do what I want to do, and then the bell rings and you go back to class. I remember how I used to feel, man. I didn't feel right. I'll be happy when I go back home. Like, damn, at least it's done, man. This is jail, and it's jail. A lot of people don't want to look at it that way, but it's jail, bro. Schools are jails. You wear uniforms just like people in jail. You are told schools are like mini jails. So you are told when to eat. You have to ask permission to go out. You can't leave the school premises. Like, you have to kind of like escape. You know, we used to escape a lot when I was still a student, high school student. We just escape when we were too bored. Schools are prisons, man. So we don't feel right because we are being forced to be what we're not. Being forced to work. No, we want to do what we want to do, you know. It's not like we don't want to work at all, but we want to do the work that is actually necessary. All animals work, but we want to do the work that's necessary. We don't want to sit in offices typing some things. That's not natural. That's depressing. That fucks with your soul. You can't feel right sitting in an office and typing. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Sitting in class, taking notes, learning something that you have no interest in, you can't feel right. Having to write tests, 3 hours, bruh. Like sit in one spot for 3 hours writing a test. The testing. No, man, the whole thing is a scam, man. Y'all people gotta wake up. Like, the whole thing is a scam. The whole thing. I don't know how parents even agree to that. No, come on. Like, people are so brainwashed that they don't see something wrong with that. Like, they think it's right. People are not rational minded, and that's scary, you know. So damn delusional. I've heard this other lady saying that there is no space, it's just water there. I was like, damn, we're struggling to figure out what this is. Have you realized that people who are delusional and who really believe in their delusions you realize the people who are delusional and who believe in that delusion, usually gain a lot of following. Like they gain a lot of followers. They, they usually gain a lot of followers. It's weird. Like if you can make shit up, you can, because this actually shows how delusion. Not you even use the word delusional, but this shows that people just don't think. You make shit up and you preach it as if you know what you're talking about. People are gonna follow you. It doesn't have to make sense. You can say that stones are alive and they're saying something. Bruh, you're gonna gain a large following. Like, just make shit up. Human beings are so damn vulnerable to lies, bruh. But you tell them the truth. This ends unbothered. It's just living their own lives. They don't know what humans are dealing with. They don't know that human beings have to go to school, they have to go to work. They're just living their lives. Probably happy compared to humans. Because they don't really seem like slaves. Maybe they are. Maybe all animals are slaves in some way. I mean, yeah, we're trapped here, but I mean, maybe they even get enslaved because human beings are slaves on so many levels. You're trapped in your own body, but you also have to follow some rules, some made-up rules. If you don't follow these rules, you might find yourself in another trap. Like, no, you broke the rules, so you must be in prison now. You must be convicted. 5 years, 10 years. Imagine. And people think this is right. Damn, there's too many sugar canes there. Too many. I wonder if they'll be able to sell them all. Like, too many. Yeah, don't trust people who don't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense that some people don't make sense and they don't realize that they don't make sense. There seems to be something deeper going on. Maybe people do get possessed, who knows? I mean, realize that, okay, let me not say it. I wanted to say something, but it's not necessary to say, and it's too offensive. But yeah, only trust people who seem logical. Like, when they say things, these things actually make sense. Even if you don't understand them at first, but when they explain themselves more, you start to understand them. Because there's some people that you might not agree with at first, but when they start to explain, like when you tell them why you don't agree with them, and they explain to you deeply, you start to kind of like agree with them. But there are people who just don't make sense. I'm not sure people are the same. We're not the same, man. We just look the same. Trust yourself and don't let anyone make you feel bad for not believing what they believe, because maybe they seem to be doing better than you in life, or they seem to be happier than you. But like, look at me, I'm happy. But you listen to them and they don't make sense. Don't believe them. This really does remind me of the analyst in the Matrix. You listen to him talking, like, he doesn't make like he seemed to be gaslighting Neo. There's some lies, it's like he's lying. You can see that. I mean, even before I realized he was the analyst, I could see he was lying, because there was no real honesty. You just wanted to tell Neo what to believe without really being intellectually honest about what Neo might have been dealing with. Most human beings are like that, so we must ask ourselves why. Because we still don't understand what's really going on. So anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. And I think the people that we shouldn't trust are people who just don't make sense. Especially in a world where anything is possible. In a world that we don't really get. We don't really understand. We don't understand this world at all, actually. Just like to pretend that we do. Thank you all, guys.